as a knife designer, I know very intimately the kind of blade shapes and the kind of knives that I generally go for. If you look in my collection, most of them are pokey stabby, of course, different blade shapes, different handle ergos, and so forth. But there are some very consistent themes around them. And every so often, there is a knife that comes out that you become very curious about handling, but you just can't pull the trigger on it because it's not going to be for you. And for me, that was the QSP Penguin. To explain why this isn't for me is it's a straight Wharncliffe profile blade, as you can see here, but it doesn't really have a pokey stabby tip. Generally speaking, for when I go for Wharncliffe profile blades, I tend to go for something like this, where it's a little bit more prone to piercing. Now, one could make the argument that this is really an aggressive reverse tanto, and this is a modified Wharncliffe with more of like a sheep's footy kind of tip here. But whatever. Regardless, I have seen this knife blow up and become the darling of a lot of people's kind of EDC rotation and collection. And now that I have it in hand, I get it. I understand why. There's a lot of variations on size, and for me, this Penguin Plus is perfect. It fits my hands beautifully. The pocket clip is done excellently. It really disappears in my hand. I don't feel it in a full hammer grip like this. I feel I could really, do some serious work. Love a Wharncliffe profile because it gives you the maximum sort of force that you can put into doing work. And even the flipper tab here is well judged so that if I want to choke up, I can rest my finger on there and keep it away from the blade edge, which is really well done. Throw on top of this dual deployments between the flipper here, and you may not be able to see them really well, but there are a set of thumb studs right there. And you have a winner. Now, this version with jigged tie scales and frame lock, like titanium frame lock, this thing feels beyond premium, and really, I get it. It's still not for me personally, but I absolutely understand why this is so popular. And on top of that, it's fairly slim. What's not to like about this thing? Honestly, I really can't tell you or point to a singular, negative element about this, QSP Penguin. Honestly, if I had to offer one criticism, I think they could have done the sharpening choil a bit better. You're going to get a smile right here, and, they could have definitely come up a bit higher on the sharpening choil and given you more life before it kind of changes the blade profile. But with the exception of that, really, yeah, let me see. Yeah, no, they definitely could have done that because they're using the cross pin or stop pin here at the top of the blade. They're not relying on it hitting here. And why would they? Because they are using a flipper tab. So really, if there's any one criticism, it's the sharpening choil. But I'm sure a lot of you aren't going to care about that much. I gotta say, I love actually, this QSP Penguin Mini. Man, this actually may be the Penguin for me. Surprisingly, it's the smallest of them, but this as a little fifth pocket knife where you can just toss in, you know, you get a package, let's say from Amazon, you can use the, you know, Wharncliffe profile, get your finger here, do some nice utility cuts, open up a package, and throw it back into your pocket. Even this guy has got good choke up ergos, so you can get a nice, strong 3-finger grip. Pocket clip, again, is almost the same and judged really well. This one omits the flipper tab, but keeps the thumb studs. And it fires out like a rocket. And it's not as smooth, obviously, because it doesn't have the same blade weight, but it's still a very smooth knife, and you can slow roll it, or you can snap it open very easily. I mean, I get it. As I said, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I get it. It's a great knife. And I do not blame a single person for liking the Penguin as much as they do. You know, this is an excellent little EDC knife. What more can I say about this than that? I mean, QSP did a great job. This Plus model is awesome. Is absolutely awesome. I mean, look at that jigged tie. Man, that is just really nice, and it gives you some nice texture and kind of grip in the hand. If I'm honest, this is one of the first times that I've really gotten to spend some time with jigged tie, and I wasn't sure how I would feel about it before, but I get it now. I definitely do. I see why people like it. I see why it's sought after, and yeah, it's really nice, and we may see more jigged tie coming into my personal collection in the future. But dudes, if this hits the mark for you guys for your style of knife, your kind of a blade profile, and you're looking for something that's utility based, I know they have a wide range of offerings at different price points. Consider this. I get it. As I said, I mean, I'm sure there are tons of reviews already who are talking about how great this thing is, and they're all probably right. It's a really well done knife and knife design. If it's up your alley, pick it up, man. It's a no-brainer.